Commander Kate Morris stood tall in her blue uniform as she watched the alien ship land on the wide field outside the United Nations building. The ship glowed with strange light and seemed to bend the air around it. She had been chosen to meet these visitors from space along with other world leaders. The ship door opened with a soft hiss. 5 tall beings walked out. Their skin looked like clear crystal that caught the sunlight and broke it into rainbow colors. They moved with a grace that made them seem like they were floating. This was the first time humans had met aliens. Kate felt her heart beat faster. This moment would change history forever. The leader of Earth stepped forward with open arms. "Welcome to Earth. We are honored to meet you." The tallest of the crystal beings tilted its head. "We are the Axiomatic. We represent the Galactic Council. We have watched your world for many years." Their voices did not come from mouths. Instead, the words seemed to form directly in Kate's mind. She noticed other humans touching their ears in confusion. The United Nations Hall was packed with people from every country. Kate sat at the front row next to Dr. Olivia Wright, a scientist who had helped detect the alien signal years ago. Main Axiomatic stood at the center of the room, its crystal form towering over even the tallest humans. "We have evaluated your species," the alien announced. "Your technological progress is impressive for your age." Kate felt a surge of pride. But the Axiomatic continued. "Your biological limitations and psychological instability make you unsuitable for membership in the galactic community." The room fell silent. "What do you mean?" asked the Earth President. The Axiomatic gestured and a hologram appeared showing human history, wars, diseases, conflicts. The alien pointed at each image. "Your species lives too briefly. Your emotions control your decisions. You fight among yourselves for resources and beliefs. Your bodies are fragile. Your minds are unpredictable." Kate felt her face grow hot with anger. Who were these aliens to judge humanity? "The Galactic Council has rules," the Axiomatic continued. "Only species that meet certain standards can join. Species that might bring conflict or unpredictability are kept isolated until they evolve further." Olivia stood up. "How long would that take?" The crystal being turned to her. "Perhaps 10,000 years. Perhaps longer." Outrage erupted in the room. 10,000 years, Kate wanted to shout, but kept her professional composure. "We'll establish a quarantine perimeter at the edge of your solar system," the Axiomatic announced. "You may continue your development in isolation. We will return to check your progress in 1,000 years." The president tried to argue. "We have much to offer. We learn quickly. We adapt." The Axiomatic seemed unmoved. "Your adaptability is precisely what concerns us. You change too quickly. Your technology advances in unpredictable ways. You take risks. Other species would avoid." Kate could not stay silent any longer. "So you fear us." The crystal being turned to face her. "Fear is an emotion, Commander Morris. We do not fear. We calculate. We analyze. And our analysis shows that humanity is not ready." The meeting ended with the aliens providing details of the quarantine. They would leave monitoring stations at the edge of the solar system. Any attempt to pass beyond would be detected and stopped. They would share no technology, no knowledge, no cultural exchange. Humanity was deemed too primitive, too unpredictable, too dangerous. As the aliens departed, Kate caught Olivia's eye. The scientist was not crying or shouting like some of the others. Instead, her face showed determination. "They think we're primitive," Olivia whispered. Kate nodded. "They made a big mistake." They had 3 days before the quarantine would activate. 3 days to plan. Kate and Olivia gathered the best minds on Earth in a secure underground facility. They worked without sleep, studying the small amount of information the Axiomatic had shared on. The final day, Kate stood before the Emergency Council of World Leaders. "The aliens believe we are primitive because we are emotional, unpredictable, and adaptable," she said. "But those are not weaknesses. They are our strengths." Olivia stepped forward. With digital plans, we detected energy patterns from their ships. We believe they use some kind of dimensional technology to travel between stars. But they made a critical error. They let us scan their ships. The world leaders looked confused. Kate explained, "They think we're too primitive to understand their technology, but we don't need to understand it perfectly. We just need to use what we learned." Olivia nodded. "We propose Project Leviathan. A ship unlike anything humanity has built before. A ship that will show the galaxy what primitive really means." One of the leaders frowned. "You're suggesting we build a warship, not just a warship?" Kate replied, "A statement. A declaration that humanity will not be caged." The plan was ambitious. Some said impossible. Build a ship in secret, one that could break through the alien quarantine, one that could challenge the axiomatic's view of humanity. The vote was unanimous. Project Leviathan would begin immediately, as the quarantine barrier shimmered into existence. Around the solar system, Kate watched from an observation deck. The transparent wall of energy looked beautiful, almost peaceful, but it was a cage. Olivia joined her. The axiomatic. "Think we need 10,000 years," she said. "But I think we can surprise them much sooner." Kate smiled. "They called us primitive, so let's show them what primitive humans can do when challenged." Across Earth and the Moon, secret facilities began construction. Resources were diverted. The best engineers, scientists, and military minds gathered. Operation Leviathan had begun. The galaxy had declared humanity too primitive. Now humanity would build the apex predator of space. 2 years passed since the axiomatic placed their quarantine around Earth. Kate Morris walked through the massive underground lunar base. Her footsteps echoed in the large chamber as she approached the viewing window. Before her stretched the most ambitious project in human history. The ESV Leviathan. The ship was unlike any vessel humans had built before. It was black, absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Its shape reminded Kate of ancient sea predators, long and sleek with angles that seemed to bend wrongly somehow, as if the ship existed partly in another dimension. "Beautiful, ain't it?" asked Olivia, joining Kate at the window. Kate nodded. "More than beautiful. Terrifying," Olivia smiled. That was the point. The axiomatic think in terms of harmony and balance. We designed Leviathan to be the opposite. Unpredictable, aggressive, primitive. Chief Engineer Amber Reyes approached them. Her hands were stained with mechanical fluid, and her red hair was tied back in a messy ponytail. She looked tired but excited. "The quantum displacement drive is online. Commander, the test results exceeded our expectations." Kate turned to her. "Explain it to me again." Amber gestured to the massive engines at the rear of the ship. The axiomatic used dimensional, folding for their faster-than-light travel. "We studied the energy patterns from their ships during first contact. We don't fully understand the principles, but we understand enough." Olivia continued. "They fold space, creating shortcuts between points. But they do it with precision, with mathematical harmony. And we do it," how Kate asked, "with brute force." Amber said proudly, "We tear space rather than fold it. Its less efficient uses more energy. But the axiomatic sensors are calibrated for their method, not ours. They won't detect us." Kate walked along the observation deck, getting different angles of the massive ship. "How long until we can test it?" Amber checked her tablet. 3 days for final system checks. Then we can run a full power test." "The weapons?" Kate asked. Olivia led her to another section of the window. From here they could see the forward section of Leviathan. Its hull was studded with what looked like spines or thorns. The axiomatic used crystalline technology. Olivia explained, "Their ships, their bodies, their weapons all function on harmonic principles, and you found a weakness?" Kate prompted. Olivia nodded. "Everything that resonates can be shattered if you hit the right frequency. We designed harmonic disruptors that target the specific frequency of axiomatic technology. One hit should shatter their entire structure. And if that fails," Amber added, "we have kinetic weapons, lots of them. The axiomatic fight with precision. We fight with overwhelming force." Kate smiled grimly. "They expect us to develop for thousands of years following their example. Instead, we've spent 2 years developing weapons specifically designed to fight them. Olivia placed a hand on Kate's shoulder. They made one fundamental mistake. They judged us by their standards. They can't imagine a species developing in a different direction. They think progress means becoming more like them. Kate nodded. They called us primitive. So we embraced it. The next 3 days were filled with final preparations. The crew of Leviathan. 100 of Earth's best trained day and night in simulations. The ship systems were checked and rechecked. Supplies were loaded. Contingency plans were reviewed. Kate sat in the captain's chair on the bridge running through emergency drills with her crew. Navigation officer Tina Spencer, a young woman with quick reflexes and quicker thinking, ran through evasion patterns. Communications specialist Diane Kelly monitored the quarantine barrier looking for any changes in the alien patrol patterns weapons. Officer Lisa Ward, a former fighter pilot with steady hands and steadier nerves, tested the targeting systems. For the harmonic disruptors, Chief Medical Officer Grace Turner prepared the medical bay, hoping she would have little work to do. Kate watched, them all with pride. These women represented the best of humanity, determined, adaptable, resourceful. And soon they would show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of on launch day. Kate stood before her assembled crew in the main hangar bay of the lunar base. Behind her loomed the Leviathan, dark and menacing. "Today we take our future back," she announced. "No species has the right to cage another. No civilization has the right to judge us primitive because we are different. The axiomatic believe they are superior because they have existed longer, evolved further. But today we will show them that humanity has qualities they cannot understand. Determination, adaptability, courage." The crew cheered. "We do not seek war." Kate continued. "We seek recognition. We seek our rightful place among the stars. If the axiomatic will not give it to us, we will take it." Olivia stepped forward beside Kate. As science director for Project Leviathan, she had been the driving force behind much of the technology I want to thank each of you, she said. "Your work has turned theory into reality. In 2 years, you have accomplished what the axiomatic thought would take 10,000. Amber raised her voice from the crowd. "They thought we were too primitive to understand. Their technology." She gestured to the ship behind them. "Does this look primitive to you?" Laughter rippled through the assembly. Kate raised her hand for silence. It was time. Board your stations. Prepare for launch. In 6 hours, we break quarantine. The crew of Leviathan moved with purpose to their positions. Systems came online one by one. The massive hangar doors above them began to open, revealing the star-filled blackness of space. Kate sat in her command chair on the bridge checking final reports. From each department, Amber at Engineering reported the quantum displacement drive was ready. Tina at Navigation had plotted their course to the nearest point of the quarantine barrier. Lisa at Weapons confirmed all systems operational. Diane at Communications monitored all channels for alien transmissions. Grace at Medical reported the infirmary prepared. Kate took a deep breath. Commence launch sequence. The Leviathan rose silently from the lunar surface, its dark hull blending with the blackness of space. Its engines barely visible as a slight distortion, rather than the bright flares of conventional rockets. As they cleared lunar orbit, Kate ordered maximum speed to the barrier. The ship accelerated smoothly the advanced inertial dampeners, preventing the crew from feeling the immense forces. "Approaching quarantine barrier," Tina announced. Her hands moved rapidly over her console, adjusting their course. Estimated arrival in 20 minutes. Kate turned to Olivia, who had taken a position. "At the science station, will this work?" Olivia looked up from her readings. "The theory is sound, the simulations were successful. But this is still technology. We barely understand." Kate nodded. "But that's what makes us human, isn't it? Taking risks, attempting. The impossible quarantine barrier in visual range." Tina called on the main view screen. A shimmering wall of energy appeared spanning across the stars. It looked delicate, almost beautiful. But Kate knew it was designed to keep humanity prisoner for millennia. Activate stealth systems. Kate ordered. Amber worked her controls. "The displacement field is active. Commander, axiomatic sensors should be blind to us now." Diane at Communications confirmed. "No reaction from the monitoring stations. They don't see us." Kate took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth. Proceed with dimensional fold insertion. The ship's engines changed pitch. The view outside the windows distorted as if they were looking through rippling water. Warning lights flashed as the ship experienced massive gravitational shear, but the reinforced hull held. For a terrible moment, everything seemed to stop. Kate felt as if her body was being pulled in 1,000 directions at once. Then with a snap, they were through. We're past. The barrier. Tina confirmed, disbelief in her voice. On the tactical display, Kate could see axiomatic patrol ships, their crystalline forms glittering against the blackness. They showed no signs of having detected the Leviathan's passage. "We did it, Kate," breathed then, louder for the crew. "We did it." Cheers erupted across the bridge plot course for the axiomatic defense perimeter, Kate ordered. It's time humanity introduced itself properly to the neighborhood. The Leviathan turned gracefully toward deep space, its dark hull invisible against the stars, its mission just beginning. The apex predator of space was loose, and the galaxy would never be the same. The axiomatic defense fleet gathered at their primary military anchorage. 50 warships arranged in perfect geometric formations. Their crystalline hulls caught starlight and refracted it in dazzling patterns, a display of order and harmony. None of them detected the dark shape moving silently toward them. On the bridge of the Leviathan, Kate studied the tactical display the axiomatic had called in ships from across their territory, a response to the destruction of the quarantine hub and the attacks that had followed in the weeks since. For 20 days, the Leviathan had struck throughout axiomatic space, military outposts, sensor arrays, shipyards, each target carefully chosen, each attack precise. No civilian casualties, no permanent destruction of habitable environments. Just enough damage to send a message. The axiomatic called us primitive, Kate said to Olivia, who stood beside her. Now they call us the impossible. Shadow. Diane had intercepted their communications. The axiomatic could not understand how their defenses were being breached. Their sensors, designed to detect harmony and mathematical precision, could not track the Leviathan's chaotic movements. Its quantum displacement drive left energy patterns that made no sense to axiomatic science, Lisa reported from weapons. Targeting solution complete. Commander. Harmonic disruptors locked on primary command vessels. Kate nodded but raised her hand. Wait. She turned to Diane. Open a communication channel to the axiomatic fleet. Diane looked surprised but followed the order. Channel open, Commander. They will hear you. Kate took a breath. This is Commander Kate Morris of the Earthship Leviathan. 2 months ago, your council declared humanity too primitive for membership in your galactic community. You established a quarantine to contain us. You expected us to accept your judgment. She paused, letting her words reach the axiomatic fleet. Instead, we broke your quarantine. We disabled your outposts. We destroyed your hub. And now we stand at the heart of your defense fleet undetected and armed, Amber reported from engineering. They are scanning for us, Commander, but their sensors cannot penetrate our stealth systems, Kate continued. We could destroy your fleet now, but that is not our purpose. We seek recognition, not destruction. We demand the Axiomatic Council acknowledge humanity's right to travel the stars freely as equals. She nodded to Diane. End transmission. Now Kate said to Lisa, target the command ship. Minimum power. Just enough to show them we're here. The Leviathan fired. A pulse of harmonic energy struck the largest axiomatic vessel. Its crystal hull vibrated, visibly cracks appearing along one section. The effect on the axiomatic fleet was immediate. The perfect formation broke apart. Ships moved in seemingly random patterns. Weapons fired into empty space. Diane monitored their communications. They're in chaos. Commander. Their commanders cannot agree on a response. Some want to retreat. Some want to stand and fight. Kate smiled. The unpredictable nature of the attack was doing exactly what they had hoped, disrupting the axiomatic's rigid thinking. Their highly ordered minds could not adapt quickly to the unknown. Give them another demonstration, Kate ordered. Lisa targeted a different vessel, another harmonic pulse, another cracked hull. The axiomatic fleet scattered further, their formations completely abandoned. Kate watched with satisfaction. Their technology might be advanced, but their thinking was limited by thousands of years of predictability. The axiomatic had evolved beyond the need to adapt to survive. They had forgotten the value of unpredictability, of instinct, of primitive responses to threats. Diane straightened suddenly at her. Station incoming transmission, Commander. High priority from the Axiomatic Council. Kate exchanged glances with Olivia. Already had they made their point so quickly? Put it through, Kate ordered. A hologram appeared on the bridge. The crystalline form of an axiomatic elder, its facets more numerous than the beings Kate had met on Earth. The voice, when it spoke, resonated with authority. Human vessel. This aggression cannot continue. Kate stood tall. We do not seek aggression. Elder, we seek recognition. The aggression began when you caged our species without consent. The elder shifted its crystalline form, catching the light differently. We acted according to established protocols. Your species was evaluated and found to be at an insufficient development stage for galactic interaction. Kate stepped closer to the hologram. And yet here we are. Having broken your quarantine, having evaded your sensors, having demonstrated capability beyond your evaluation. There was a pause. The elder seemed to be consulting with others outside the holographic field. The council will meet to discuss this situation. The elder finally said, Not good enough. Kate replied, We demand a seat at that meeting. We demand representation. We demand the immediate and permanent end to all quarantine measures against Earth. The elder drew itself up, its crystal form growing taller, more imposing. You demand, you, a primitive species barely capable of interstellar travel. You who build warships when you should be building understanding. Kate did not back down. We build what we need to survive. We adapt, we overcome. And right now your fleet is at our mercy. You call us primitive. We call ourselves determined. Another pause. The hologram flickered as the elder communicated with the council. The council will grant you audience, the elder said, its tone somehow conveying reluctance without changing inflection. A representative of humanity may present your case. One representative. One ship. You will follow our escort. You will power down your weapons. Kate considered the offer. She glanced at Olivia, who gave a slight nod. Agreed, Kate said. But we maintain our defensive capabilities and we choose our own course to the council. We will follow your escort, but at a distance. The elder seemed to shimmer with what might have been frustration. Very well, the escort will arrive within one rotation of this system. Coordinates for the council chamber will be provided. The hologram vanished. Lisa kept her weapons trained on the fleet. Did we just win, Commander? Kate shook her head. Not yet. This could be a trap, but even if it's genuine, winning means full recognition. Not just a meeting. Diane worked at her console. The coordinates are coming through. Commander, the council chamber is located in a system 20 light-years from here. Amber reported from engineering the quantum displacement drive needs maintenance before another long jump, Commander. The battle with their fleet damaged some of the stabilizers. Kate nodded. Begin repairs. We have time while we wait for their escort. For the next 12 hours, the crew of Leviathan worked to repair the ship. Systems were checked, weapons recalibrated, the quantum displacement drive carefully maintained. Kate used the time to prepare for the meeting, Olivia helping her understand axiomatic psychology and customs. The escort arrived precisely on schedule. A single axiomatic vessel larger than the warships but less heavily armed, its crystal structure more elaborate. Diane received their transmission. The escort requests we follow at a distance of no less than 10,000 kilometers. They will lead us to the council. Kate gave the order to follow. Their course took them through 6 star systems, each one containing axiomatic colonies or outposts. In each system, the crystalline beings stopped their activities to watch the dark human ship pass. Their sensors would detect little, but they would know what it was, the impossible shadow. The primitive apex predator. After 3 days of travel, they approached the council system. A red giant star surrounded by 7 planets. The 4th planet glittered like a jewel. Crystal cities covered much of its surface. At the center rose a massive tower reaching seemingly impossible heights. The tower is the council chamber Diane reported from her scans. It contains representatives from over 200 species. Kate felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. She would stand before that council as the first human to address the galactic community. Her words would shape the future relationship between humanity and the stars. The escort transmitted landing coordinates. Olivia analyzed them. They want us to set down here. She indicated a large open area near the base of the tower. Lisa checked for weapons emplacements. Clear landing zone. No obvious traps. Kate made her decision. Take us down. Tina. Standard approach. The Leviathan descended through the atmosphere, its dark hull standing in stark contrast to the crystal landscape below. Thousands of axiomatic gathered to watch the arrival of the primitive species that had broken quarantine, challenged their fleet and demanded recognition. As they landed, Kate addressed her crew. I will go alone to the council, as they requested. The rest of you maintain battle readiness. If this is a trap, if I do not return within 6 hours, you are to leave immediately. Return to Earth. Warn them. Olivia stepped forward. Commander, let me come with you. My understanding of their technology could be valuable. Kate shook her head. The council specified one representative. And if this is a trap, I need you here to lead the crew. To continue the mission, Amber approached Kate holding a small device. We modified a communicator, Commander. She explained. It contains a quantum entanglement circuit. They won't be able to block or monitor it. No matter what happens, we will maintain contact. Kate took the device and secured it inside her uniform. She checked her appearance one last time, straightening her Blue Earth Command uniform, the insignia of humanity bright on her chest. Then she walked to the airlock. The outer door opened. A ramp extended to the crystal surface below. Kate walked down, feeling the strange gravity slightly stronger than Earth. The air, though breathable, had an odd metallic taste. She stood tall as a delegation of axiomatic approached. The lead axiomatic towered over her, its crystal form more elaborate than any she had seen before. The Leviathan moved through space unseen and undetected. The crew worked in quiet efficiency as they traveled deeper into axiomatic territory. Kate studied the star charts that Diane had compiled from intercepted alien communications. The Galactic Council maintained a network of outposts throughout this sector, each one a potential target approaching Axiomatic Monitoring Station 7. Tina announced from the navigation console. The station hung in space like a crystal snowflake. Its surfaces caught starlight and broke it into rainbow patterns. Maintain stealth approach, Kate ordered. How many ships? Diane checked her sensors. 3 patrol vessels, all standard configuration. No heavy weapons. Kate nodded. This would be their first test, Amber. Bring weapons to standby. Do not power them fully yet. They might detect the energy surge. Amber acknowledged the order, her fingers dancing across the engineering controls. Harmonic disruptors on standby. Kinetic launchers loaded. Kate turned to Olivia. At the science station, can we capture their communications array without destroying the station? Olivia studied the station schematics. The communications node is here. She pointed to a small extension of the crystal structure. We could target just that section with a low-power harmonic pulse. It should separate cleanly from the main structure. Lisa spoke up from weapons. I can make that shot. Commander, just give the word. Kate stood from her chair and approached the main view screen. The crystal station grew larger as they neared it. She could see axiomatic moving inside the transparent structure, none of them aware that a human ship watched them. These aliens had judged humanity. They had found them wanting. They had caged them like animals. Kate felt anger rise within her but pushed it down. This mission wasn't about revenge, it was about freedom. Begin recording. Kate ordered Diane. She wanted a full record of humanity's first strike against the quarantine. Diane activated the ship's log. Systems recording active. Commander. Kate took a deep breath. Target the communications array, low-power precision strike. Lisa adjusted her targeting controls. Target locked. Firing solution, calculated fire. Kate commanded. A pulse of energy barely visible, as a ripple in space shot from the Leviathan's forward array. It struck the communications extension of the crystal station. The targeted section vibrated briefly, then cracked along perfect lines before separating from the main structure. Direct hit. Lisa confirmed. Communications array disabled. No other damage to the station. The axiomatic patrol ships did not react. They continued their programmed routes, unaware that anything had happened. Now Kate said, "Target their sensor array." Same procedure, another pulse. Another precision strike. The station's sensors shattered. Now the patrol ships reacted. Their movements became more erratic as they lost contact with their base station. Diane listened to the communications chatter. "They don't understand what's happening," she reported. "They think it's a system malfunction." Kate smiled. "They don't even consider the possibility of attack because they believe we're safely contained behind their quarantine." Now came the dangerous part. Kate returned to her chair. All stop hold position. The Leviathan hung motionless in space, barely a ship's length from the damaged station. "Begin information download," Kate ordered Olivia. "It's your turn." Olivia had been waiting for this moment. She activated a specialized system of her design. The Leviathan's computers reached out to the station, breaking through its now weakened defenses. "Data streaming in," Olivia announced. Her eyes widened as information filled her screen. Star charts, patrol schedules, communication protocols, defense systems, it's all here. Everything we need. Kate felt a surge of satisfaction. Their plan was working. The axiomatic had never considered that humanity might break through the quarantine so soon. They had no defenses against an enemy they didn't believe could exist. Diane suddenly straightened at her console. "Priority alert from the station. They just initiated an emergency protocol. The patrol ships changed course, heading directly for the station. They've detected us." Lisa asked, her hand hovering over the weapons controls. "No," Diane replied. "They think the station is experiencing a catastrophic failure. They're moving to evacuate personnel." "Even better," Kate said. "We can complete our data extraction while they focus on evacuation." For 30 minutes, the Leviathan hung in space, invisible to axiomatic sensors, as Olivia's system pulled every bit of useful information from the damaged station. The patrol ships docked, evacuating the crystalline beings. "Download complete," Olivia finally announced. "We have everything. Navigation, data, defense protocols, communication frequencies. And something else." Her voice grew excited. "A complete map of the quarantine system. They maintain the barrier from a central hub station." Kate leaned forward, where Olivia brought up a star chart here. A massive station orbiting a red giant star. "It's the control center for the entire quarantine network. If we can disable it, we can bring down the entire barrier." Kate finished, and free Earth. The patrol ships finished their evacuation and began to pull away from the station. Time to leave. Kate ordered set course for the quarantine control hub. Maximum speed. Tina plotted the new course. The Leviathan turned away from the damaged station, its mission accomplished without firing a DR. Single destructive shot. The axiomatic still had no idea they had been infiltrated. As they traveled toward the quarantine hub, Kate called a meeting of the senior officers in the ship's conference room. "The data we gathered gives us a complete picture of axiomatic defenses," she said. "The quarantine hub is heavily guarded. 9 warships patrol its perimeter. The station itself has defensive capabilities." Lisa studied the tactical display. "We could approach under stealth and strike before they detect us." Amber shook her head. "The hub generates too much energy. Our stealth systems will be less effective the closer we get. They will detect us before we reach optimal firing position." Kate looked to Olivia. "Any ideas?" Olivia had been reviewing the axiomatic patrol schedules. "There is a window," she said. "Every 6 hours they rotate the patrol ships. There is a 3-minute gap in coverage. If we time our approach precisely." Kate nodded. "That's our opportunity. We go in fast. We hit hard. We get out before reinforcements arrive." The officers returned to their stations, preparing for the most important engagement of their mission. The fate of humanity rested on their success. 2 days later, the Leviathan approached the quarantine hub. The massive station glowed with energy. its crystalline structure more complex than any they had seen before. Around it moved the axiomatic warships, their formations precise and mathematical. Diane monitored communications. Patrol shift changing in 15 minutes. She announced. Kate ordered battle stations. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. Weapons were brought to standby. Shields were charged, engines prepared for rapid acceleration. We will have one chance. Kate reminded them, the element of surprise is our advantage. The minutes ticked by. The tension on the bridge grew. Lisa at weapons ran continuous checks on the harmonic disruptors. Amber monitored the stealth systems, looking for any sign they had been detected. Tina calculated and recalculated their approach. Vector patrol shift beginning now. Diane reported Kate watched as the axiomatic warships began their precisely choreographed dance positions, changing ships, moving away from the hub momentarily to take up new patrol routes. Now Kate ordered. The Leviathan surged forward, its stealth system still active but now supplemented by pure speed. The ship covered the distance to the hub in seconds, weapons range in 5 seconds. Lisa called out. Her targeting systems locked onto the hub's main power core. 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. Kate commanded. The Leviathan's harmonic disruptors fired at full power. A wave of energy struck the hub. Target sections of the crystal structure began to vibrate, then crack. Direct hit. Lisa confirmed. Power core destabilizing, axiomatic. Warships reacted immediately, breaking formation. Turning toward the now visible threat of the Leviathan, evasive maneuvers. Kate ordered. Prepare second volley. Tina sent the ship into a spinning dive, avoiding the first energy pulses from the axiomatic vessels. The Leviathan moved like no ship the aliens had ever encountered. Unpredictable, aggressive, primitive. Lisa fired again. A second wave of harmonic energy struck the hub. More crystals shattered. Diane monitored the communications. They're in chaos. Commander. They can't coordinate their response. The hub was breaking apart now, its perfect crystalline geometry collapsing. The energy barrier that surrounded Earth flickering. One more hit should do it. Lisa said. An axiomatic warship moved to intercept. Its weapons charging. Kate ordered a sharp turn, but the alien vessel anticipated their move. Its energy beam struck the Leviathan. The ship shuddered. Damage report. Kate called. Amber checked her systems. Minor damage to the outer hull stealth systems. Offline weapons still functional. The Leviathan was visible now. All 9 axiomatic warships converging on its position. Final strike. Kate ordered. Full power. The Leviathan fired once more. The harmonic disruptors sent a wave of energy directly into the hub's core. The effect was immediate. The entire structure resonated, then shattered. The fragments spinning away in all directions. Quarantine system failing. Diane announced, excitement in her voice. The barrier around Earth is collapsing, but their victory came with a price. The axiomatic warships surrounded them now. Their weapons charged, their crystalline forms glowing with energy were surrounded. Tina reported. No clear escape route. Kate stood firm. We completed our mission. Now we show them what else humanity is capable of. Activate quantum displacement drive. She ordered. Maximum power. Push it beyond safety limits. Amber looked up in shock. Commander, that could tear the ship apart. The debate in the council chamber lasted for hours. Species arguing in languages Kate could not understand. The translation systems struggling to keep pace with concepts that had no human equivalent. Kate stood firm in the center platform. Her legs ached. Her throat was dry, but she refused to show weakness. Finally, the axiomatic elder raised its crystalline arms. The chamber fell silent. The council has deliberated. The elder announced, its voice echoing through the vast space. Never before has a quarantined species broken containment. Never before has the council been forced to reconsider an evaluation. Kate held her breath. The elder continued. Many on this council believe the humans should be contained by force. Their unpredictability making them too dangerous to allow free travel. Others see potential in their different approach to development. A third faction proposes study observation. Before final judgment, Kate spoke up. We did not come here to be studied like animals. We came for recognition as equals. The elder shifted its crystalline form, catching light differently. We have existed as a galactic community for 50,000 of your years. Our protocols are not established. Lightly. A new voice spoke. A being composed of what looked like liquid metal flowing constantly into different shapes. The humans have demonstrated qualities we had not anticipated. Their ship, their technology, their tactics, all designed to counter axiomatic defenses. In mere years, they accomplished what your models predicted would take millennia. The reptilian being with color-shifting scales added, they adapted specifically to challenge you. That shows intelligence beyond mere technological capability. The axiomatic elder seemed to consider these points. Its facets refracting light in complex patterns. The council proposes a compromise. Kate remained silent, waiting. The quarantine will be lifted. The elder said, humanity will be granted provisional status in the Galactic Council, a probationary period of 50 years during which human ships may travel designated routes. Human representatives may visit designated worlds. Human scientists may study designated technologies. Kate shook her head. Not enough, we demand full status. Equal access. Equal rights, equal respect. The chamber erupted again. Species arguing, some supporting Kate's demand, others opposing, through her hidden communicator. Kate heard Olivia's voice. Take the compromise, Commander. We can work within their system to gain more. Kate considered this. It wasn't everything they wanted, but it was far more than the axiomatic had originally offered. It was a beginning. I will accept provisional status, Kate announced, on the condition that the probationary period be reduced to 10 years, and that Earth receive Galactic Council representatives immediately to begin technological and cultural exchange. The elder conferred with other axiomatic, their crystal forms, touching, exchanging information in ways Kate could not perceive. Agreed. The elder finally said, 10 years of provisional status. Beginning today, a delegation will accompany you back to Earth to establish formal relations. Kate felt a surge of triumph. The mission was a success. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not through thousands of years of development following the axiomatic model, but through determination, through adaptability, through embracing their so-called primitive nature. As the council session ended, Kate was approached by representatives of various species, each curious about humans, each wanting to establish relations outside of axiomatic oversight. Kate answered their questions as best she could, always emphasizing humanity's desire for peaceful cooperation while making it clear they would not be dominated. The reptilian counselor approached Kate, its scales shifting to blues and greens. Your species has accomplished something remarkable, human. The axiomatic have dominated council policy for millennia. Your challenge has created the first real debate in generations. Kate nodded. We didn't set out to disrupt your politics, we only wanted our freedom. The reptilian made a gesture that might have been a smile, though its facial structure was very different from human. You have done more than that. You have reminded many species of qualities they once valued. Adaptability, determination, the courage to question. Kate prepared to return to the Leviathan. The axiomatic elder approached. The crystalline being still towered over her, but somehow seemed less imposing than before. You have changed things, human, the elder said, its voice resonating directly in Kate's mind. Change brings uncertainty. Uncertainty brings danger. Kate met the elder's gaze, which was difficult, given the crystalline nature of its face. Change also brings growth. Elder, isn't that the purpose of life, to grow, to evolve? The elder seemed to consider this, for the axiomatic evolution follows a clear path toward harmony, toward unity, toward perfection. For humans, Kate said, evolution follows many paths. We try, we fail, we adapt, we overcome. We value diversity of thought, of approach, of being. The elder shifted slightly. You believe your way is superior. Kate shook her head. I believe diversity is superior. A galaxy with only one path of development is stagnant. A galaxy with many paths has more chances to overcome whatever challenges the universe presents. The elder was silent for a moment. Then it extended a crystalline appendage. Perhaps in 10 years, we will better understand each other, Commander Morris. Perhaps in 10 years you will understand why we value harmony. Kate took a risk and placed her hand against the elder's crystalline form. It felt cool and vibrated slightly against her skin. Perhaps in 10 years you will understand why we value chaos. The journey back to Earth was very different from the journey out. The Leviathan was escorted not by a single axiomatic vessel, but by ships from 7 different council species, each curious about the humans, each eager to establish relations before their competitors on the bridge. Kate watched Earth grow larger on the view screen, the blue-green planet that had been quarantined now free. Olivia stood beside her. "We did it," Kate said still hardly, believing their success. "We changed the galaxy," Olivia nodded, "but the real work begins now. We have 10 years to prove ourselves. 10 years to show the Council that humanity deserves full membership." Kate smiled. "Considering what we've accomplished in just 2 years, I think." Well managed as they entered Earth orbit, communication channels filled with excited messages, nations' leaders, scientists all wanting to know what had happened, what agreements had been made, what would come next. Kate addressed them all in a planet-wide broadcast, standing on the bridge of the Leviathan with the alien vessels visible through the view screen behind her. "People of Earth. 2 years ago, the Axiomatic declared our species too primitive for membership in the galactic community. They established a quarantine to contain us. They expected us to develop along their predetermined path for 10,000 years. She paused, letting the enormity of what had happened sink in. Instead, we built the Leviathan, a ship unlike any in the galaxy, a ship designed to show the Axiomatic that humanity would not be caged. We broke their quarantine. We challenged their assumptions. We forced them to reconsider." Cheers erupted across the planet. Viewership statistics showed 90% of humanity watching. "The Galactic Council has granted Earth provisional status," Kate continued. "We have 10 years to prove ourselves worthy of full membership. 10 years to show the galaxy what humanity can contribute." She gestured to the alien ships, visible behind her. "These vessels represent species eager to establish relations with Earth. They bring knowledge, technology, opportunities for exchange. All because we refuse to accept limitations imposed by others. All because we embraced what makes us human. Our determination, our adaptability, our willingness to take risks." Kate looked directly into the camera, her expression serious. "The galaxy declared humanity too primitive. So we built the apex predator of space, and in doing so, we earned not just fear but respect. Not just attention but recognition. The Leviathan showed the galaxy that humanity cannot be contained, cannot be controlled, cannot be dismissed." She smiled. "But the Leviathan also showed that humanity seeks not conquest, but cooperation. Not domination but diversity. We built a weapon because we had to. We will now build bridges because we choose to. That is the true strength of our species. Not that we can fight when necessary, but that we can adapt to any circumstance." As Kate concluded her speech, the alien vessels moved into formation around the Leviathan. Their different designs, their different technologies, their different approaches to space travel, all visible in stark contrast. No longer would the galaxy follow a single path of development. No longer would the axiomatic definition of advancement go unchallenged. The quarantine had been meant to contain humanity, to protect the galaxy from unpredictability, from primitive thinking. Instead, it had inspired the creation of the very thing the axiomatic feared most: a ship, a crew, a species that embraced chaos, that turned unpredictability into strength, that showed the galaxy what primitive really meant as the sun rose over Earth. Kate watched from the Leviathan's observation deck, the planet below her home. The stars above now open to human exploration, the galaxy forever changed. Olivia joined her. The axiomatic delegation is preparing to land. Their scientists are already requesting access to the quantum displacement drive. Kate smiled. "They still don't understand, do they?" Olivia raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Kate gestured to the stars. The axiomatic think technology is the measure of advancement. They want to study our drive, our weapons, our shields. But those aren't what make humanity special. What does then? Olivia asked. Kate turned to face her friend. Our willingness to be wrong, to fail, to start over, to try a different approach.